following the sequence of reactions to the girls from the Babymonster group. Today we're going to watch Chiquita. This video, I think, is the first one that YG Entertainment released of her performing live. It's a black and white video, just like Rora's. But there's another video of hers, of a different song that was also released shortly after. But I chose this first video because the sound here is less modified, although the other one is labeled as clean version, a version without alterations. This one sounds cleaner to me, to my ears. I listened to a few seconds just to get an idea of the song's vibe and if it was worth it or not. So, let's see how she performs. I don't know the name of this song. It wasn't listed in the video's description, so I can't give an explanation here about the lyrics' meaning. It must be a romantic song, maybe. Let's check it out.
Ooh, why you look so sad? I've never seen you look so bright.
Okay, it's a voice. Somewhere between the chest and the head, perhaps mixed in a mid-range. Once again, just like with all the other girls, but especially Rema and Rora, standing out a bit more. But YG is a school of singers. They have a team of vocal trainers with a very well-established training approach. And I was thinking, which pop singers timbre worldwide I'd heard before with these characteristics, or that combined these characteristics, techniques, and the way they use their resonance, and mainly where they usually place their vocal register's resonance. And if we group all the girls I've reacted to so far, Farida, Ahayan, Rema, and Rora, and now seeing that Chiquita is the same, we can associate them with two global pop voices, Billie Eilish and Lady Gaga. That's their technique, that's their school, and it's more focused. Of course, Billie Eilish and Lady Gaga have very versatile pop styles. They explore many genres. They navigate through diverse styles. But here, the girls focus more on voices leaning toward jazz, blues, and R&B. It's what I always say about placing the voice in the middle range, in the nasopharynx, and opening it toward the cheeks, or sometimes also resonating it at the palate. It's distinctive. That's YG's singing school. This is very clear. And, by the way, I also noticed this in Rose. I'll react to her more often. Actually, I reacted to one video, but it got blocked due to copyright issues on the platform. But I noticed that Rose also has, not as pronounced as the Babymonster girls, but it seems more consolidated in them here. But Rose also has this line, a vocal technique.
You used to be the strongest of us two. Now look at you sitting down.
She transitioned into falsetto here, and it was spectacular, very smooth.
You used to be the strongest of us two. Now look at you sitting down.
So beautiful, really beautiful. She was in that range, well placed, just like Rema aligns it, and like Rora, with mastery. And it's the same technique. She places it in the cheek and tightens slightly at the glottis. This sound comes out here, and it's characteristic of jazz, or R&B, and blues. It's a sweeter tone. It suits the mood of this song, with the melancholic, thoughtful, lamenting, sometimes romantic piano, sentimental. And she transitioned from this to falsetto. Here, it's a leap. like an appoggiatura, maybe, but transitioning to falsetto from a middle range, and she did it very well.
Strongest of us two. Now look at you sitting.
She added a slight vibrato at the end of that falsetto.
Ooh, no one's picking up the phone. The party's over and you are alone. I used to give a F but me, hey you. Now I look at you and I don't care.
It's a voice that doesn't, at least here, in this song, in this range, low mid, actually mid-range, where she is, it carries just a slight nasal quality. Her nasopharyngeal tone isn't as nasal or pronounced as what Remy does. Remy does it deliberately. Remy has full versatility. She can emphasize her nasal tone, or transition to the cheeks, chest voice, or even lower vocal tones. Remy, apparently, has more control. But, of course, although this is my first time listening to Chiquita, I can't yet evaluate if she has the same control. But, at this moment, at 13 years old, which is astonishing for this vocal level, she has her own unique qualities compared to Remy, and compared to Rora's first video. Chiquita shows more technical mastery. Though Rora was performing a different song, a rap, on R&B, which posed different challenges than Chiquita faces here.
You're crying in your bedroom, 'cause I've gone and left you. Wish I never met you. Don't know what you got until it's gone.
Here, she did something beautiful. It was a perfectly smooth register shift. She is doing very well. She's in a comfortable range. It's that, as I always say, the characteristic East Asian tone. That is more nasally placed, tending to be a bit sharp, and sometimes placed in the palate. She shows this slightly. Maybe in about 5% of her voice, you notice it. She doesn't let it dominate, and moves out of this resonance. She's in the mask and middle range here, between the mouth, nose, and forehead. She transitioned from this middle range to a note or two in chest voice, and then jumped to falsetto. And with absolute consistency and no breaks, she did it perfectly.
Wish I never met you. Don't know what you got until it's gone.
Middle, low, falsetto. She transitioned smoothly and seamlessly. That's hard to pull off.
Wish I never met you. Don't know what you got until it's gone. You're crying in your bedroom. Easy to forget you. Done this to yourself, and now I'm gone. Now I'm celebrating. My God, I bet you hate it. I can't believe I waited for you for so long. You're crying in your bedroom.
Okay, now she reminded me more of a voice similar to Ian's, but softer, which, personally, I prefer. That's my opinion. My personal taste. I like her tone more than Ian's. These notes here are already in her head voice. Either mixed or pure head voice, higher notes. Her voice isn't as... How can I say this? It's less piercing than Ian's. There's a brightness and metallic quality, a brightness with a metallic edge. That makes Ian's voice full of harmonics and very distinctive. Chiquita's has less of that. Here, she's at a technical level. Although it's not very relevant, anyway. But at this point, Rema and Rora are technically more advanced. If we look back a year, she seems to be at the beginning of her development, already showing some range. She's also in a comfortable range. She's in this mid-range area, already transitioning here into head voice. But she's managing to keep it very consistent. Maybe she finds it easier because of her anatomical and biological comfort. Due to her physical composition, maybe her voice naturally fits this middle tessitura, making it comfortable for her. Because of that,
You hate it. I can't believe I waited for you for so long. You're crying in your bedroom, 'cause I've gone and left you. Don't know what you got until it's gone.
here, this descending note, I think she did a yodel, but this transition to the lower note was very beautiful. She laid down, rested on the note, adding a breathiness, as if there were a bed of breathiness, and she placed the note there, and the note flows. It doesn't enter with an attack, aggressively. She makes a subtle volume arc. This happens in milliseconds. The note lasts a second or two, and she does this within that small time frame, within a single note. It was very beautiful.
In your bedroom, 'cause I've gone and left you. Don't know what you got until it's
That's it. This note here was spectacular.
gone, 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 now gone.
A very beautiful ending, with vibrato. She added vibrato that she didn't use in the rest of the song.
Bedroom, 'cause I've gone and left you. Don't know what you got until it's gone.
Yes, here, she did better than the first time. It's the same melodic phrase I mentioned, where she moved from a mid-range to a lower range, and then to falsetto. But here, she built the note, she crafted the note, and this time, she crafted it, with technical richness like Rema does. And only at the end, she added lots of vibrato at the finish, and brought more richness. But it's the same melody as the beginning.
In your bedroom, 'cause I've gone and left you. Don't know what you got until it's gone, 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 now gone.
She did a melisma, which is that sequence of notes where she stays on a single vowel and does all this flourish of notes. It was spectacular. By the end, it seemed like she found her technique. She felt more secure in the song. And that's normal. It's perfectly fine. That's what happens. She's very young. Only 13 here, right? It seems there are age differences between what they wrote in the description and when it was recorded and released. I don't know, someone mentioned it. But I really like this voice. It's quite a complete voice, similar to Ian's. I liked her technique. It's a very uniform voice, and I think she showed a lot of technical control here, precisely because she was in a comfortable range. She probably has a relatively large vocal range. Her lower range was beautiful. It's not as powerful as Rora's lower range, but she nailed it perfectly, especially that note at the end. So I really like this voice, and I'll react to her again. I think she's one of the rappers, but she also performs singing, right? I'll look for more of her singing songs, because her voice. I really liked it. So, if you enjoyed this reaction video, leave your comment below and your like. become a channel member or contribute if you liked my content. Click the buttons below and subscribe to the channel to watch more videos like this. Right, see you next time.